Camelot 331 here, and we're back. We're back, everyone. We're back. I wanted to talk about something today that I haven't thought about in a minute, and it's actually kind of popped up a lot recently, and I don't really know why, but I also, I was in a weird headspace the last couple days and started getting real down and out and kind of bummed out, and I had to revisit some things that had to do with a video I put out a couple of years ago. And by a couple of years ago, I mean 1 year ago. Because I'm from Alabama and math is not my strong suit, nor is memories. But I put out a video talking about how I don't have friends. I'm 32 now, so we're a year and a half later. And I'm going to kind of follow up on that and talk about my headspace recently. That's kind of got me understanding why I made that video in the first place. But the big question you're probably thinking to yourself is, how is it 1 year later, especially after that video, received almost 1.7 million views since then, which was very unexpected, and I didn't plan on releasing that video at all. I just talked about it on stream one day, and I didn't mean to get emotional, so I apologize for that. It just kind of happened, and because I had a revelation whilst filming that, I guess. But I talked to a few friends, and they were like, dude, you should release it. So begrudgingly, I released it. And at the time, I was getting, swatted, and a lot of channels were dedicated to tearing me apart. And, I was just really worried about the backlash. But honestly, it changed my life in a good way because I've met a lot of really cool people because of it. But I find myself right back to where I was when I filmed that. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit, and it's going to be a little cringy, so bear with me. But I was thinking a couple days ago how one of my acquaintances kind of planned a surprise birthday party for me. It was out of nowhere, and I didn't expect it because, to be honest, I don't celebrate birthdays. Because I don't have any friends that live around me. Now, if you watch that video, a lot of people misconstrued that video because they didn't watch it all the way through. But I found out that my online friends, YouTube community, and people I've met through it were indeed real friends. But it is very hard, coping with, being alone in everyday life. You can have friends, yes, and you can talk to those friends online, and that is great. That is a great supplement. But when you're not seeing anyone every day, and you're not getting that camaraderie of a group, and you get what I'm saying. So you don't see them every day, so it kind of feels like you're alone. And to be honest, you can be around a lot of people and still feel alone, and that's how I am a lot of the time. I suffer from imposter syndrome. I suffer from a lot of those things where I don't really feel like I belong anywhere, and I get really quiet and I disassociate, and it's something I can't really help. But I find myself right back in the same place because one of my acquaintances planned a birthday party for me this year, actually. So this is a few months ago. And they took me to this place, and it was kind of like you could tell it was kind of like a, happy fun times bowling alley thing. And I was like, oh, wow, I didn't expect this. And it's really embarrassing, actually, because no one showed up at all. It was just me. And that really messed me up. And I know it's stupid, but, no one showed up. And it made me feel like a dumbass. And I hate feeling like that, sitting there by yourself like a dumbass. So I was just told to show up, and no one showed up. So it almost felt like Carrie when they dumped the blood on her. I don't know. It's not the same thing, but... So that happened. And for some reason, I totally repressed that. It bummed me out for 2 days, and then I forgot about it. And then 2 days ago, I was sitting there, and I thought about it. And it just threw me over the edge, and I don't know why that happened. And I'm planning a thing right now. I really love Halloween, guys. Halloween is the shit. Spooky stuff, I live and die for. Preferably die for, but I love the spooky stuff. There is only one thing that I like almost as much as a good set of turd cutters, and that's Halloween. Like the vibes and shit. I decorate my whole house, man. I go crazy. I was planning this thing, and I have a lot of people I'm wanting to invite to this thing that I'm planning. It's a Halloween deal, right? It's a couple days. It's like a festival almost, kind of, not really. And a few of my friends I haven't seen in years, like close friends, like real life, friends I used to see every day. I invited them to this thing, and all of them said that they were going to come. And one by one, they all canceled on me. Now, look, it's not their fault if they have stuff going on. I get it. But your mind goes to dark places when you start thinking things are more than coincidences. Like, how is it that every one of these people all are busy every time I ask if they want to, get a drink or hang out or just relax and do nothing, But the last person finally canceled on me like 2 days ago. And then that all culminated, I'm from Alabama, culminated into me remembering the birthday thing and then realizing that maybe I have one of those personalities that started the phrase, a little bit of you goes a long way. And it started getting really rough. And, I kind of panicked and I messaged another friend that was like a very new IRL friend that's kind of also been distant. And I was like, hey, I'm going to go see a show. You should come. I'll buy your ticket, man. It'll be great. We'll just hang out and we'll watch some bands. And then they conversed with me up until that point, and then when I asked them if they wanted to do that, they just ignored me. And I'm gonna be honest. Look, if you just say no, that makes me feel a lot better than you just not responding. Like, that's weird. And I know that's bitchy as hell for me to say. And I understand totally level-headedly that it doesn't really matter what people think or who you surround yourself with. It's how much you value yourself, which really matters. And that's how I am all the time, man. You don't understand. It's like 99.9% of the time. But every now and then, the 0.01% creeps in. And that's what happened the last 2 days. So I tweeted some stupid shit about me being a bitch. And I apologize for that. But that's been my headspace lately, is those exact things. And it brought me back, man, to the Franz video. And I've noticed the Franz video has been getting a lot of views lately. And I don't really know why. But I do appreciate it. And a lot of people have been messaging me, and I do appreciate that as well. So I figured I'd talk about that. And although it is a year and a half later, I feel like I'm in a better place, but I also feel incredibly alone all the time still. And I don't really know how to fix it. And it's not all the time. It's just random periods, man, where you're like, man, I'm alone as hell. Like, you just feel like you're the only damn person on earth. And then in those moments, you reach out to the people that you care about. And I have like 4 of them that I've, spent a lot of years with. And not a single one of them will either respond or converse, or I don't know. It just starts to feel like more than coincidences. You're like, maybe just people hate me because I suck. Sometimes you just got to accept that you suck. And I might suck and I might not realize it, but I would love it if somebody told me that. Hey, man, just tell me like, hey, you kind of suck to be around. And then I could maybe fix it and course correct. Because that's like how I am, man. I'll course correct. But unfortunately, I feel like I have one of those personalities, and it's something I battle with every damn day. And this is not as a happy ending as the Franz video is. The Franz video was a happy ending, and I don't think this is a bad ending either. It's almost like coming to terms with reality. And the reality is, people just don't really care. They got especially when they have their own stuff going on, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I'm the kind of person that likes to nurture friendships, especially ones that are close to me, and I start to feel like I'm the only one doing that. And I start to feel like the people I care about are putting in the most minimum effort possible, which is fine for some people, but it's not fine with me. And people keep telling me, hey, man, just surround yourself with new people that are better. And I'm like, dude, that's what everyone says, but you don't realize if someone's going to abandon your ass when you first meet them. You can't predict that shit. I didn't think all these people would abandon my ass and never just stop being friends to me once they moved or got into relationships and stuff. And that's also something that spawned it recently. Every one of my friends that I would see kind of on a regular basis, not often, but on a regular basis, They're all in these new relationships with new girls and new guys, and they just disappear, man. And that just doesn't make sense to me. When I was married, man, I still hung out with all my friends. And I'm just, why is it these people value relationships so much and they rely on relationships for self-worth? But then again, sometimes I rely on friendships for that self-worth, so I can't really be a hypocrite there. Anyways, I'm rambling, dudes. I apologize. I just wanted to revisit my mind space and frame and talk about that Friends video and talk about how far I've come. I've accomplished a lot personally, I feel like. I mean, you might not think so, and that's totally warranted. I guess I'm just a YouTube guy. But I feel like I've done a lot, and I've got to see a lot of cool stuff. But for some reason, in the end, I just feel more alone than ever, and I don't really know what to do. A lot of people say, get a dog. I have 2 of them. A lot of people say, go to church. No. I grew up in the Bible Belt, man. I ain't going back. Some people say, join the military. I don't think you realize how old I am. Also, no. Wow. No, thank you. Find a hobby. Bruh, I got like 7. I play guitar, I write music, I race in like a NASCAR style series in a I'm supposed to do. I go to the gym. I don't know, guys. I don't really know. I don't have the answers, man. I don't have the answers. Maybe you do. Can you comment down below and tell me what the hell works for you? Because I don't really know, man. I'm in a weird ass place and I'm trying to escape it. So maybe you can help me escape it. Just comment, man. I guess. And yeah. That's it. Yeah. I don't even know why I made this. I probably won't release this either. I just talking, man. It's almost like a therapeutic thing at this point. Shit.